Yo, it's your boy GT here from the Gangster Times. Please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Also hit me up on Instagram, which is gangstertimes_official, and on my Snapchat, type in the search box, Gangster Times. 4 men have been given life sentences following the murder of Stephen Maguire in Southport. 27-year-old Stephen was fatally shot on Monday, March the 16th, despite the best efforts from Northwest Ambulance Service personnel who were called to attend him at around 11:35 p.m. that night, and he sadly passed away. The attack happened in Guildford Road, Birkdale, on the West Lancashire border, and today 4 men have been sentenced for their part in Stephen's murder following a recent trial at Liverpool Crown Court. So Karl Corson, who's 28, was sentenced to life with a minimum of 33 years in prison. Ryan Smith, who's 21, was sentenced to life with a minimum of 32 years in prison. Patrick Moogan was sentenced to life with a minimum of 30 years in prison. And Jack Higgins was sentenced to life with a minimum of 29 years in prison. So previously, when the guilty verdicts were announced, jurors and relatives of both Mr. Maguire and the defendants were in tears as the verdicts were announced amid tense scenes after 4 days of deliberations. As 3 of the men were actually led away from the dock, one of them declared, "This case is an effing stitch-up." The defendants were also found guilty of the kidnapping of 2 teenagers, the robbery of 3 motorbikes, possession of a firearm, and possession of ammunition without a certificate. So these verdicts came after a 15-day Liverpool Crown Court trial that heard Mr. Maguire was gunned down at the Southport home of his partner, Moogan. So his partner recalled how the couple and their friend Craig Middleton were in their Guildford Road living room at around 11:30 p.m. when they heard noises from the garden. She then stated how Mr. Maguire, who she described as a good lad, jumped up, looked through the kitchen window and shouted, "They've got a piece, get upstairs." She said she saw a male in a tracksuit and fled to the first floor, where her 6-year-old daughter was sleeping. And she recalled, there's 4 lads in the back garden and one of them's got a gun. He ran upstairs to look out the window for a view of the men. When he returned, he approached the kitchen and saw his friend walking in and holding his legs. Then he heard a bang that he described as being like a piece of glass smashing. So Craig Middleton stated, "I said to him, 'Have you been shot?' He pulled his top up and showed me a hole by his stomach. He then dropped to the floor. I shouted Megan to ring the police and ring the ambulance." It's believed that Mr. Maguire was shot in the leg and abdomen by a pistol that has not yet been found by detectives, and he was rushed to hospital but pronounced dead less than an hour after being attacked. 3 bikes, including an orange KTM scrambler bike, were taken from the kitchen of the property. And in court, all 4 defendants accepted they were in a car driven to that home that night, but all denied murder and denied they knew there was a shooting and denied knowledge that any of their group had a gun. However, all men were found guilty and they've been sentenced to life imprisonment. So Detective Chief Inspector Rachel Wilson said it is pleasing to see today's outcome, with these 4 men brought to justice for their involvement in what was the brutal killing of Stephen in his home address. They will spend a considerable portion of their lives in custody. We hope that these sentencing provide at least some comfort for Stephen's family and friends as they continue to deal with the grief at his sudden and tragic loss. This has been a complex and comprehensive investigation, and we are grateful for all those people who have come forward with information and assisted, which has allowed us to bring about a successful prosecution. Criminals involved in gun crime have no regard for anyone else, and Stephen Maguire paid the ultimate price for the recklessness and violent actions of others. I just want to say rest in peace, Stephen Maguire, and my condolences go out to your family. So the news is that 4 men have been sentenced to a total of 124 years for his murder. Let me know what you think. It's your boy GT. Keep it locked, keep it real.